King Bee. An isekai manga where the main character is a king of the bee world. Yes, you heard me. Also, the main character didn't have to get hit by a truck so he could get to this world. Hello everyone, finally back with a new review, and today's review is over the manga called King Bee. There are only 6 chapters out right now, but I'm only going to talk about a few of them before going into the rating. But first, the name of the author is called Mikina-san. Hope I said your name right, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. And on Voice Me, it says by Busy Bees, so I guess that's the name of the team working on the manga. Now, King Bee is about a guy named Hashi. And again, if I'm saying this, the main characters, if I said these name wrong, just let me know. But, gotta move on. And his life would change dramatically after being stung by a bee when he was a kid. Now, Hashi is a kid who is apparently allergic to bees. And one day, when he was a kid and was outside playing with his friends, he would get stung by a bee and almost died. Then, when he woke up in the hospital, his parents were told that if he got stung again, he may actually die this time. So his parents would get super protective and would take him out of elementary. They would start making him wear a bee suit. And around his high school years, they would put like a little more protection around the house. But he would finally get his freedom during his college years, when he started college actually. But before he could leave to this first day of college, his mom would stop him because he was forgetting his bee suit. And that first day of college was kind of odd because, for other students I mean, because the bee suit, he was wearing the bee suit that first day and everyone was just staring at him. And when class was over, he would go to the restroom to handle his business. And while he was doing that, a talking bee named Baldric would show up and start talking to the main character and telling him that it's time, and calling him king, while trying to inform Hashi about the situation that was going on and why he wants him to follow him. Hashi wasn't actually listening because, well, it's a bee and he's allergic to bees. So he just brings out his fly swatter and tries to kill Baldric, the talking bee. But as he was trying to do that, he would slip on a puddle of water and knock himself out. And at that time, some students were walking in and they will end up calling the ambulance. Then Hashi would wake up at home and would hear his parents, and they were arguing. They were actually blaming each other about him, the son, going to university, saying that it was there was a blame each other. Anyway, as that was happening, he would sit up from his bed and will see that his bee suit is moving. First he thinks it's a ghost, then he just proceeds to bring his fly swatter out like that's gonna do something. But it was actually Baldric, the talking bee. Baldric would then try to talk to the main character again, and this time Hashi would actually listen and let Baldric explain what is going on and why he needs to follow him, bringing him about the world, some world. Apparently it was some world that sounds so familiar to the main character, because apparently it was a world that him and his friends made up when they were young, when they'll play like imagination with their imaginations, and apparently the world was real according to Baldric. And as he kept explaining to Hashi what was going on, he would actually get him to follow him to a park. And they would get to a tree that had a big beehive, and Baldric would tell him, well, put your hand on the hive so we could go. At first, with that little information, the main character Hashi was just like, a bee's living there. What if he was just kind of afraid to actually touch the hive. But he ends up doing it and then gets transported to the world that Baldric was explaining about the whole time. And as arriving there, we get to see Baldric's actual form. His actual, I guess, form in that world. And while looking around, the main character kind of was like, okay, so this isn't a fever dream. I'm awake. He actually thought he was dreaming the whole time, but he was not. And anyway, if you want to know what happens next, you may need to read that on your own, because I only read up to explain about like 3 or 4 chapters of the manga right now, and there's a few more I would explain, but I don't want to take all the time of the video, so I would rather recommend going to read on your own. This is how far I'm gonna explain the manga. Anyway, on to the rating. Now I'm going to honestly rate King B 8.5 out of 10. I love the art is beautiful. The character designs look amazing, especially when the main character gets his new look during a little later on. But well, not later on, probably like around chapter 4. But yeah, I ain't gonna explain a lot more because I'd rather say, again, I'm recommending go read on your own, and then you see what I mean. But the story so far from this manga is really interesting. Now I'd love to know more about it, but it's only like 6 chapters out right now, and it has a lot of potential to be a top manga on Voice Me. But that's what I think. That's my opinion. That's what I think. But it's also a Voice Me pilot apparently, so I'm like kind of surprised. When I first started reading it and seeing the promotions of it, I didn't know it was a pilot for Voice Me. But now I found out like probably like a few chapters in. But yeah, I feel like 8.5 is the best thing to give it right now, or reasonable, how you want to say it, since it's still new. Again, there's only 6 chapters out, and so far I didn't have any dislikes of it. It's still new, and it could go up, down, and I don't really see it going down probably in likes, because it's really good. It's a real good manga. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you haven't read this manga yet and you're looking for something new to read and you're interested on these types of mangas, I would recommend reading this one. It's actually really good, and if you have read it, I guess let me know your thoughts about it, because it'd be interesting to talk to other fans on this manga and see what they thought about it. But anyway, if you have read it, I guess just let me know what you thought about it as well. Or if you haven't read it, I would recommend go reading it. It'd be the best way to show support to the author and the team behind this manga. And I hope to see you all in the next video.